Darth Vader. Darth Vader was not born a monster. He started life as Anakin Skywalker, a slave boy on dusty Tatooine. Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn freed him after watching the kid win a wild pod race. The Jedi sensed huge power in him. Some even thought he was the chosen one, meant to bring balance to the Force. Inside the Jedi Order, Anakin felt two strong pulls. One was duty, follow the Jedi Code and show no attachment. The other was love, protect the people who mattered most. Obi-Wan Kenobi trained him, but the lessons came with sharp rules and little comfort. Anakin's fears stayed hidden, and they grew in the dark. The Clone Wars turned the young knight into a headline hero. He led clone troops, saved planets, and earned cheers across the galaxy. Fame, though, came with loss. Friends fell in battle. Orders shifted without warning. Every death squeezed the same secret dread. Losing Padme Amidala, the senator he had secretly married. That dread was the hook for Chancellor Palpatine. In quiet talks, Palpatine told Anakin about a Sith legend who could stop death itself. He said that power could be Anakin's if he learned the dark side. The idea stuck hard after Anakin dreamed Padme dying in childbirth. Fear slid into panic, and panic cracked his trust in the Jedi. When the Council asked him to spy on Palpatine, Anakin felt torn apart. The Chancellor had been a steady friend. The Jedi now felt cold, almost suspicious. In that swirl of doubt, Palpatine dropped his mask and revealed himself as Darth Sidious, Dark Lord of the Sith. He offered a clear deal: help me, and Padme lives. Anakin chose. In a single night, he marched clones into the Jedi Temple, cut down teachers, and even killed younglings. The Republic he swore to protect flipped into an empire under Sidious's rule. Soon after, on the lava world Mustafar, he fought Obi-Wan. The duel ended with Anakin broken on a river of fire. Black armor, metal limbs, and a harsh breathing mask rebuilt the man, but buried the name. Darth Vader rose, ruthless and cold. He hunted the few Jedi who survived, crushed rebel sparks, and carried out the Emperor's cruel commands. Harvey Dent. Picture Gotham at midnight. The last train rattles over Crime Alley, and a tall man in a crisp suit stands on the courthouse steps. This is Harvey Dent, the city's white knight. As district attorney, he locks away mob bosses who once owned the police. Reporters love him, kids copy his perfect smile, and even Batman calls him Gotham's best hope. Harvey grew up rough. An abusive father, empty fridge, long nights reading law books by a street lamp. Those memories light a fire. If no one helped little Harvey, adult Harvey will help everyone. He wins his first cases fast, each one punching deeper into the Falcone crime family. Bullets start flying, but Harvey keeps moving. He says, the law is luck-proof. Justice is fair. Keep flipping the coin. The good side wins. Then comes the Joker, chaos with clown paint. He crashes a fundraiser and puts a knife to Rachel Dawes, Harvey's fiancée and Gotham's assistant DA. That man saves her, but the message is clear. Dent's war has drawn bigger monsters. The breaking point hits in a dim warehouse. Harvey wakes, tied to a chair, drums of fuel stacked around him. Across town, Rachel is trapped in a mirror image cell. Choose who to save. That man races for Rachel but finds Harvey instead. The building explodes. Flames pour over Harvey's left side, melting skin to bone. Doctors try grafts, but half his face is gone. More painful is the news Rachel didn't make it. Harvey opens his eyes in the hospital and sees two futures. One where good men keep playing by broken rules, and one where he makes the rules. The coin that once chose heads for justice now shows a blackened tails. He lets that side guide him. He calls himself Two-Face because every life, every choice has two edges. Batman and Commissioner Gordon corner him at the site of Rachel's death. Two-Face holds a gun to Gordon's son, coin ready. He blames Gordon's failed system for Rachel's fate. Batman pleads, this madness won't bring her back. The coin spins. It lands scarred side up. Batman tackles him. Two-Face falls over the ledge and lies still among the rubble. The tragedy is heavy. Gotham's hope turned into its nightmare in a matter of days. One hero's shattered faith reminds us, a single moment can twist a lifetime. Eren Yeager. Eren Yeager was once the loud kid cheering for freedom inside Wall Maria, swearing to wipe out every Titan after watching one eat his mother. He joined the Scout Regiment, trained till his muscles ached, and led charge after charge with fire in his eyes. When he learned he could shift into a Titan himself, it felt like destiny. Humanity finally had a weapon sharp enough to fight back, but each victory unwrapped a darker layer. Eren touched Historia's hand and saw memories that weren't his own. Walls built from colossal Titans, royal lives, and the truth that the humans on Paradise Island were just one nation among many. Across the sea, the world called his people devils, and planned their extinction. The hero's simple map, kill Titans, save mankind, suddenly showed oceans, armies, and a ticking clock. He sailed in secret to Marley, the enemy homeland, hiding in filthy hospitals and alleyways to study his foes. There he met kids who looked just like the friends he'd grown up with. Empathy felt like weakness, so Eren snapped it. During a crowded festival, he shifted into the attack titan and smashed buildings into dust, crushing soldiers and civilians alike. Screams rang just like the day his own city fell. Revenge tasted like blood and steel. Back on Paradise, allies questioned him. Eren laughed, calling them slaves to memories. He formed the Yeagerists, a loyal faction ready to kill commanders, seize ports, and force Queen Historia to bear heirs for the royal bloodline. The boy who once saluted authority now pointed guns at it. Then Eren reached the Paths, a place beyond time, where the founding titan's will sleeps inside a silent girl named Ymir. He promised her one thing no king ever had: freedom. Ymir's eyes widened, chains fell. In the waking world, millions of colossal titans tore themselves from the walls and started marching. Their feet flattened forests, towns, and armies in sheets of steam and rubble. Eren's voice thundered in every Eldian mind. He would crush the entire planet until only Paradise remained. The scouts stared at the horizon, glowing red with dust and molten stone. Their childhood friend, once humanity's shield, had become its greatest doom. Power answered his vow, and the ground shook with every step. The hero chose destruction. Saruman the White. Saruman the White used to lead the 5 great wizards. He wore shining robes, spoke many tongues, and sat at the head of the White Council beside Elrond and Galadriel. For centuries, he hunted every rumor about Sauron and the Rings of Power, certain that deep study would give Middle-earth its best shield. Pride slid in quietly. Saruman began to believe no mind but his own could solve the puzzle. He settled in the Black Tower of Orthanc, filling its halls with scrolls and strange gears. There he found a seeing stone called a Palantir. At first, the globe showed harmless clouds and coastlines. Then another will pressed through, the Eye of Sauron burning far off in Mordor. Saruman thought he could wrestle with that gaze and win. Night after night he stared, trading secrets for visions of the ring's hiding place. The eye promised victory and whispered one hook: power answers power. The white robes turned slick and many-colored, like oil on water. Saruman ordered his servants to chop down Fangorn forests for fuel. Tree trunks fed new forges that hammered out armor and heavy hooked blades. He bred a faster, crueler orc called the Uruk-hai, drilling them under torchlight while smoke smeared the sky. Gandalf rode to Orthanc seeking counsel. Saruman greeted him with honeyed words, then shut every door. On the tower's peak, he offered Gandalf a choice: serve the rising dark or stay locked away. Gandalf refused, so Saruman bound him on the rooftop and left him for the crows. The old friends' parting broke like stone. From that day, flocks of black crows swept over Rohan, spying for the traitor wizard. Orc raiders struck villages by night, taking every horse they could rope. Saruman flooded the plains with fear, certain the kingdom would fall before help could cross the mountains. Deep in Orthanc's forge pits, he watched ranks of Uruk-hai stomp in time, iron boots shaking the earth. He lifted his staff, voice echoing off cold stone, and gave the order to march on Helm's Deep. Wisdom rotted into greed. Walter White. Walter White used to grade lab reports and clip coupons, not cook meth. On his 50th birthday, he found 2 bombs, dropped on the same day: a pink birthday hat from his family and a stage 3 lung cancer scan from the doctor. Bills already stacked higher than the school microscope, treatment would add another mountain. Pride and fear shouted the same word: do something. He rode along with his DEA brother-in-law Hank on a raid and spotted an old student, Jesse Pinkman, squeezing through a window to escape. That spark lit an idea. Walter knew chemistry better than anyone in Albuquerque. Jesse knew dealers. If they teamed up, one perfect cook could pay for chemo, diaper costs, and a secure future for his unborn daughter. The first cook in an RV, deep in the desert, turned blue crystals into almost pure meth. Street thugs wanted more. Walt took the street name Heisenberg and wore a black pork pie hat that hid the mild teacher inside. When a gangster named Crazy 8 threatened to kill him, Walt tightened a bike lock around the man's throat in a basement and watched life drain away. A switch flipped. Fear became power. Money rolled in, and so did danger. Walt made bombs from chemicals, dissolved bodies in acid, and lied smoother each time. He told his wife Skylar that he was simply working late. He told himself he was working for family. But every cooked pound pushed that goal farther. Gus Fring offered a high-tech lab and millions per month. Walt agreed, but the partnership felt like chains. To break free, he planted a bomb on Fring's wheelchair-bound rival, Hector Salamanca, turning a nursing home into a fireball that carved half of Gus's face away. Now a king without rivals, Heisenberg flooded the Southwest with product. Kids ended up in hospital beds, rival crews vanished in smoke, and Walt's own brother-in-law closed in on the truth. Walt didn't flinch. He ordered a prison massacre timed to the tick of a watch. 8 witnesses stabbed or burned in 60 seconds. The teacher who once assigned extra credit now assigned death. Stacks of cash filled a crawl space. Skylar stared at the piles and whispered, "How much is enough?" Walt's eyes never left the money. Heisenberg erased Walter White. Arthas Menethil. Arthas Menethil was once the shining hope of Lordaeron. As crown prince, he trained with Uther the Lightbringer and swore to protect every farmer and foot soldier in his realm. People cheered when his white warhorse thundered through the streets. Arthas, only 19, felt ready for any threat. That threat arrived as a strange plague. Grain shipments turned whole villages into the undead. The cult behind it served a demon named Mal'Ganis. Arthas rode north with his knights, faith in his hammer and the holy light. Each infected town he saved hardened his resolve, but the plague spread faster than he could swing. Then came Stratholme. Arthas discovered its grain was tainted, citizens already doomed. Uther urged caution, but Arthas saw only one path: purge the city before the people turned. Flames lit the sky while bells tolled. Friend fought friend in smoke-choked streets. When it ended, the prince felt fewer cheers and more silent stares. Mal'Ganis fled to the frozen land of Northrend. Arthas gave chase, against his father's orders. Supplies ran thin, soldiers murmured, yet he pressed on, until whispers spoke of a rune blade called Frostmourne, power enough to cut down any evil. Arthas found the sword sealed in ice. The warning on its altar read, "Great power comes at great cost." He shattered the ice anyway. In that instant, Frostmourne devoured his soul. With eyes glowing icy blue, Arthas slew Mal'Ganis, but victory felt hollow. He marched home, frost on his armor, darkness in his heart. Inside Lordaeron's throne room, the prince knelt before King Tyrannus as trumpets blared. Then he rose, drew Frostmourne, and killed his own father. Gasps drowned the music. Lordaeron's golden age died in one cold stroke. Arthas, now a death knight, spread the plague he once tried to stop. He raised fallen villagers as soldiers called the Scourge. Cities crumbled. Elven forests burned under his advance. Everywhere he walked, winter followed. Finally, in Ice-Crown Glacier, Arthas climbed the frozen throne and donned the helm of the orc shaman Ner'zhul. 2 wills merged into one being, the Lich King. From that seat he commanded an army of millions, ready to drown the world in unending night. Arthas' story slices like his sword. A hero saved a kingdom, then doomed it with the same hand. 6 heroes crossed the line. Now I'm curious, whose fall shook you the most and why? Drop your take below, then smash subscribe so you don't miss the next Bits Explained deep dive.